reality of renting an apartment in Barcelona in Spain, how it really is. Hi everyone, I'm Joanna Pilatowicz, and normally on my channel you will hear more about personal development, personal growth, all these videos about paranormal, UFO and stuff like that. However, to this very moment, past years, I was able to create in a paranormal way, supernatural way, some miracles for me to be able to rent in a decent price apartments in Barcelona, to be there for a longer time, to see how the life is there and to really feel the vibe, and also use the ability of possibility to relocate in order to see and experience on myself how the relocation according to astrology looks like. Does it really bring a change in some areas of my life? It does, it did. And until now, everything was going well with all that manifestation of my reality until for a very long time now, I was kind of feeling like I'm hitting the wall with that. So as every time, what can I do? I always ask myself this question, what can I do the best about it? Well, I can tell you about it. I can create a video about it to allow you to use my information, everything what I learned from that experience, so you can benefit and you can bring it forward to your life, and definitely to not make mistakes. I did. I did one particular mistake. I always say to myself, put a deadline for how long you are looking for an apartment, because it's a time, it's energy, and so on. However, if you really, really need to find an apartment because you have no place to live, it's kind of hard to put a deadline and stop. But if you don't, you are risking your health, you are risking your mental ability to continue to go on. So the distance and pausing for a while is absolutely important. And that's the mistake I did recently. And the price is, as you can imagine, huge for that. But now coming back to the information and gathering information for you. So how you can approach, especially for those who are looking for an apartment or a room, because some of you look for a room, some of you would like to travel just to Metropoli to see how it is, and for a shorter period of time. So this video is probably for those who would like to live as nomads in another country. And it doesn't really matter, is it really Barcelona or is it Paris, Los Angeles, Rio de Janeiro. Every metropole that you are going to has a different prices. Past years, I was able to use the law of attraction, the law of frequency, all the Kybalion laws that I'm talking on my YouTube. And basically all my life, I'm functioning like that. I'm an artist. I'm also paranormal reader, decoder of energy, and author of books and painter, as you can see behind me. So I was able to create a lot of so-called, as people say, miracles. And some people actually ask me how that was possible. They never actually rented an apartment in the price I was renting. And the best deal I ever had, it was 500 euros. The other deals were around 1,000, 1,100 euros per month in Barcelona for in a different time, also in the summer, because people were asking also, how is that possible? You were renting close to the beach. Yes, this is how I was creating according to the law of manifestation, and doing it on Barcelona beach most of the times, and everything was magically coming to the place. So I wasn't really ready to have such a long research, and I did not find an apartment this time, I must admit. So I'm always going back in time and see why certain things are happening. If this is to offer you that video, then probably that's the reason, as I can see. About other reasons, I don't know now. But if you do look for an apartment, there are plenty of sites, and under this video I will list links that you can search. Some of it I recommend to check. Some of it are very difficult for those who are not speaking Spanish. If you do, you are going to have easier to find something for yourself. So just to mention a few: Fotocasa, Wallpaw, Pisos, Milanuncios, Green Acres. Usually Green Acres is designed for Germans, so it's a little bit more expensive. A lot of German people are buying and renting apartments in Spain, especially Canary Islands. English Habitatia and Rentberry and a few other things. Idealista is one of the most popular ones, but it's full of spam very often, and you gotta be careful about it. I do not recommend agencies, but this time I even tried the agency, and I can tell you this: the cheapest apartment to rent from agency is minimum 5,000 to 7,000 euros or 10,000 euros just for the entry, because you're paying double rent, you're paying the rent, so it's 3 times already the rent, plus you're paying fee to the agency, tax percentage from it, an additional fee for the agency, plus the monthly rate for the gas, electricity, water, whatever service they are putting into that. So it's quite a bit for people. From what I saw, the locals are renting apartments. Sometimes they're living 4 people in one apartment with 1 bathroom. Something that in other parts of Europe is impossible even to imagine how they are functioning. So it gives this vibe that this place is like sardines in the box sometimes. It's hard to imagine. So from that side, I do understand the locals. That's probably all these limitations put on nomads, people who would like to live there, are put so the locals can find their apartment. However, the locals are not the normal maybe income of the Spanish people, like decent income is around 1,000 euros, 1,000 something euros, unless you're not a nomad, not an expat, that you can afford an apartment for 1,500 euros or more. None of the locals will rent this kind of apartment. So they are renting rooms, or they are also buying, taking a loan from the bank if they can, because with such an income, sometimes you cannot receive it. So that's how it looks, and this is why it's enormously hard to find an apartment in Barcelona. So to this moment, I was lucky until now. So if you do look for a room, I have a bad news for you too. The current apartments in Barcelona are actually more expensive than my apartment in Germany. And the rooms that are below 500 euros or even 500 euros usually have no window, no air. They are very bad located. And yeah, that looks really, really bad. So it's very depressing even to spend the night there. And a lot of people are forced to live this way. Now, decent rooms are 600, 700, 800. Just a year ago, I think someone offered me a room for 800 euros when, of course, that time I was laughing, renting an apartment for 1,000. But I was in shock when that time already, I was seeing prices of room so high that it was impossible probably for locals even to rent it. So this situation is a little bit, or not a little bit, actually very, very crazy. Yes, so if you do hit a wall, then there is no other way and you gotta rent a room. That's one of the options. However, for the Polish community, and not only for the Polish community, but let us treat it internationally, I also created a group. And if you do travel to Barcelona, you find groups on WhatsApp that I do recommend. But we also created a group on Telegram, international group, where those of you who have apartments that you can rent because you travel, and those of you who need accommodation can also find it there. And this is listed on my main website, joannapilatowicz.com. On the start page, it has a Polish language and English language, so please switch to the English language too. But the group is on the start page straight away. on Telegram, and you can join that group. Because we are living in the system we are living in the world we are living in, I'm not much of an activist, but I'm talking about these things to make us all aware, because if not a change, if not collective change, the change won't happen. So it's really, it depends on us. If we do not agree, especially first in our mental attitude, to the circumstances that are imposed by system to us. So if you do rent between yourself, there is nobody's business what you are doing. What we are, I think, ready for is we are ready for the trust created in this kind of communities to rent one from another or to exchange. Former times, I was traveling, taking care of someone's pets, watering plants for someone, and also when I'm away, someone is watering my plants and can spend some nights also here when I'm away. So that's the deal. And do not follow the idea, please, to have nothing and be happy. That's the system trick, imposing attempt to impose on us past years, as you know. So yes, own it, have it, exchange, and I wanted to say transition. Yes, transition to the better way of creating a new kind of a system. But exchange, when it's based on exchange, we all benefit from it, and we are. It's really nobody's business, I would say, as much as I can on YouTube, because I cannot use the certain words here because YouTube will probably not be happy about it. I mean, the algorithm. So this is it. This is how it looks like. Those of you who would like to join the group, you are invited. It's completely free. You can rent from someone or you can rent to someone. And I think this is it for this moment. Have a nice day, and let me know in the comments what are your experience about renting apartments, if you look for something, and if this video has a value to you, pass to those who also can benefit to see the reality. How does it look like? Just one more thing, if you rent for Airbnb, the most expensive apartment I saw this year, it was 60,000 euros per month. The cheapest one was 2,000 euros only for a student. How the student can pay 2,000 euros per month? That's my question, but I leave it with you. And another apartment, it was 5,000 or 7,000, 8,000 euros per month, or Airbnb. So these are the prices. Former years, it was easier to find something, and it was I had a little bit more luck with that. This year, it looks like it got completely crazy on the market. So watch it, watch out, rent one from another, and do not let the system, steal from you. That's what I would say, if you know what I mean. But I think you know what I mean. So this material is good. Pass it to those who can benefit from it, so they can be aware of it and how to approach the topic, what they can expect, and be cautious that this is happening all over the world. If you are traveling to any metropolis, it's better to use private groups that actually agencies, and also use the links, because there is a lot of spam, there is a lot of people who are lying there. So the best is to know someone personally. If you see on those listings that you cannot meet this person, have a video call, talk about it, then it's probably a spam. So don't go for that. And thank you everyone who are buying me lunch, supporting me by buying me coffee. And of course, if you like to purchase my books, they are in English, the Oracle series and Dancing on the Edge, with immigration artist experience and relationships, and also paranormal aspect of dreaming, lucid dreaming, changing reality through dreaming, then I invite you to my store, or also to Amazon. And behind me also the abstract art. If you like a print, you can download directly from my store online. Have a wonderful day. Until the next time. Bye-bye.